Hello everyone. In this brief video, we are going to take a quick overview of what a digital learning template is. A digital learning template is a blank slide that will be sent from your computer to each student's computer, and they will be able to work on it and fill in and answer any questions or complete any thinking maps or gate icons or whatever the topic is you're working on. Here's an example of a student's work where she read the problem, she answered her rationale and talked about how she solved it. She wrote an equation of how she solved it, and then she created this picture that also demonstrates how she solved this problem. Here is an example of a blank digital template. With the equation over here, we're working on volume. You can see there's a spot for their name, an equation, and their rationale and response. This is a third grade student's rationale and response. She wrote, first I drew the aquarium and labeled it. The width is 3 feet, the length is 4 feet, and the height is 2 feet. Next, and then she talks about how she solves it. Over here, she writes an equation and shows how she solved it using an equation. And she has a picture that also demonstrates how she solved this problem. This is another student on the same problem. You can see here's her rationale. And then she also has her equation and information of how she solved it. And she has her picture. And you can tell that both pictures are very unique. They're similar, but unique. Here's another CGI equation. We were working on division, and you can see she wrote her response. Here's her equation, and then she created this picture and shows how she's counting by nines. 9, 18, 27, all the way up to 72. Here's another digital template. This one's a double bubble. This is what the student would receive, and this is what it would look like after a student has completed their work. This one was talking about a girl's garden, comparing it to a neighbor's garden. She wrote how they're different. This one used a shovel. This one used a trowel. The girls' garden, they used a hose, and over here they used watering cans and so forth. And this is what it would look like. Here's another student with the same double bubble. You can see how original and unique each one is. Here's another digital template of a mind map. This is what the student would receive, and this is what it would look like after a student has completed their mind map. This one is about European explorers. We talked about Christopher Columbus, Juan Cabrillo, and Samuel de Champlain. This is the information for Christopher Columbus, and they filled in the information, added pictures that go along with the information that they had found. This is also a mind map. This one was about adaptations. And this one you can tell definitely looks very different from the last one. So each student's work becomes very unique in how they complete it. Here's a flow map of a digital template. You can see this is just the basic outline with a driving question at the bottom. And over here we have a plant growth cycle flow map. You can see that the students started with germination, then went to seedlings, and all the way around until ground fertilization. And you can see they add a picture, they add in information about each step as it goes. Here's another one about St. Valentine. This was a biography that we worked on. And you can see they add photos to their work, and then they go step by step talking about the person's life. This one right here was about the Mexico City development, how Mexico City developed. Here we have another digital template that would be great to use for either creating a paragraph or a complete essay, depending if you want multiple paragraphs. This is what one might look like when a student is finished working on it. Here's a circle map that also has incorporated gate icons. We have different points of view, relationships over time, ethics, and language of the discipline, along with details in the center. Here's what a circle map might look like completed after they used a digital template. They add photographs, they have text that goes along with each idea, and that's what it looked like, Martin Luther King Jr. project. Here's another one that was about the Cherokee Native Americans, giving details in the center and then other gate icons around the outside. Here is a bubble map that we used, and we used this one for the raising dragons, and we talked about, we described the girl and what she was like, so this is what it might look like. Here is a cognitive content dictionary. This is just a basic digital template, and this is what one would look like after a student has worked on it. Obviously, here are the words that we were looking at. These are the definitions that they pulled from their Chromebook. And on this side, we have sentences, so they use it in a sentence, and then they capture a picture and put it in to go with the words. And we work on this together as a group. This is another digital template that I use as an electricity flow map. You can see that here are the sources of electricity, where it starts, and then it moves to transmission wires, then comes to a power destination, electrical outlets, and then is sent to our electrical appliances. Here's another one, same thing. This is a multiple meaning words book that also can be used on digital templates. So when it's sent out, it's very basic, and then they add in pictures, they add in sentences to go along with it. So here this talks about barking, dog barks, tree bark. This talks about letters, a letter, and then a letter. We have a ruler and a ruler. This is a digital template for writing a letter for special occasions. You can see this one was for Mother's Day. They can print these out and put them on construction paper, and they make great cards. Here's one that the girl wrote in Vietnamese. So that is what a basic digital template would look like. This is a digital template portfolio of a student's work. This is a third grade girl who has been in America for 2 years. She came in second grade, and this is her second year, and this is her first month, second year. So this is an accumulation of all of her work. These are great to show at parent conferences so that parents can see their work and see how they're doing. This is her title page. And right here we have just a basic CGI problem where she used addition, which was great. She could have used multiplication if she wanted to. Here is a bubble map that she completed. This is a circle map that we were using for Classcraft, which is an amazing program that I love in my class. This is the essay that we wrote after we created a bubble map, and each one created their bubble map and their essay on their own. This is another CGI problem that we talked about. We were using rounding and adding, and you can see, you can stop the slide if you'd like to and read what it is and read her rationale and take a look at her awesome picture. Here we have a Mulan Retail that we used a flow map, and you can kind of see her pictures are hidden behind her font, and over time she'll learn to move the pictures out of the way so they're not covered by the font. This one was a bubble map that we used to, each student was describing a friend in the class and saying nice things about them so that students understood that it's nice to hear good things about each other. Here is a heroes circle map that we used, and from that they wrote an essay, a short little paragraph. Here's another CGI problem, and this was a landform book that the student created. I sent her out a digital template that had mountains on it, and then she added pictures and she added the information to her book. So it talks about mountains, valleys, plateaus, islands, deserts, lakes, rivers, oceans, canyons, peninsulas. This is an invention report, very similar to the last one, that she was talking about Band-Aids. So here was her topic was Band-Aids, and she wrote about what are Band-Aids, a description. Then she talks about who was the inventor of Band-Aids. Then she wrote when they were invented. Over here, why are they important? Why were they invented? This is what a blank digital template would look like, so you can see without the picture and the information added. And here's the last part. Why is this your choice? So she chose why she liked Band-Aids. So that was one student's portfolio. If you're interested in more digital learning templates, you can come to a digital class that is created for you called Toolbox, and it will have more videos. It has all the digital templates you will need. It is B6E FE2. Come take a look at all the digital templates we have and enjoy. Thank you.